of the SSG is with us. Javed Hussain, let's go back to how we got this information. Initially, it started off with 2 terrorists, then it came to 4, and then we now know that it was at least 9 terrorists who kept hostage almost 45 people.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, this is something which, in fact, you know, the initial thing was that the first checkpost, and this is what Dawn has reported this morning, the newspaper, that the first checkpost was overwhelmed and the attackers were engaged by the second checkpost. 4 of them died. As that, they were able to intercept the second. The second checkpost was able to intercept them. Then how could they sort of get to the third and the final checking point, that is the main gate? So obviously all three were eliminated by the attackers, which enabled them to move into the MI directorate. So the initial report was, I mean, it was very confusing and misleading, as a matter of fact, that 2 hostages have been taken. 40 people have died, and 4 or 6 security people have died, and 4 militants. And then subsequently the figure of hostages, and of course we were given to understand that penetration into the perimeter has not taken place, that the attack has been repulsed. And then of course we were given to understand that 10 to 15 hostages have been taken inside GHQ, and that commandos are searching inside GHQ. So, you know,
but wouldn't you agree that this information was being released in bits and pieces so that the security and the integrity of our operation wasn't compromised?
No, I don't think that was the case, or that should have been the case. The fact is that people wanted to know, because everybody, even perhaps in the security setup, there must have been confusion, because everybody was not taken on board as far as this you know, the response to the operation was concerned. So and then of course 10 to 15 hostages, then 25 hostages, and then you are saying 45, and my information is something like 60 hostages. So 60 hostages and 4 attackers. You know, do we really know that there were 4 attackers? And there couldn't have been more, and some have escaped. So this is something which, you know, I mean, the BBC was very clear about it, the foreign channels, and they were, so there was no reason why this information should have been held back.
Now, BrigR, just quickly,
Perhaps,
what is the key problem underlined here, and what can be done to avoid it?
You see, they have to now make sure that those people who are employed in the security function, they are specially picked, specially trained, and they become security professionals. It's not an amateur's job. It requires a very special handling, you know, this function. And the other is, you know, when you employ half-baked security people on security functions, then you know, it becomes a mismatch between the attacker and the defender, that is the security man. The other point is about intelligence. Intelligence, you know, I mean, it's reasonable to assume that it's difficult for the intelligence agencies to have a presence amongst the various militant groups operating in the country. But yet this requirement has to be met. The human intelligence element is probably lacking. So they'll have to do something about this. You see, a successful intelligence and security setup, it endeavors to stay 1, 2 or 3 steps ahead of you know, the terrorists or militants or whatever. Now, if that does not happen, you will see many more such attacks in the future.
All right, BrigR Javed Hussain, thank you very much for being with us. I'm sorry that's all the time that we have right now. Brigadier Javed Hussain, a former SSG commando, with his analysis, prognosis of more attacks to come and more needed to be done by the security forces and the intelligence agencies.
Now moving on, now while this attack is unprecedented in its sheer audacity and the fact that a small group of terrorists have penetrated the heart of the GHQ itself, but it's not the first time the army has come under attack. Details following this.